It was just 1 week ago that tragedy struck Washington State Patrol.
Breaking news this morning out of Kitsap County.
A state trooper has been shot and killed.
As many still mourn the loss of Trooper Tony Radulescu, thousands of law enforcement from across the state will gather today to say goodbye.
And taking a live picture right now of the procession you see as they are escorting Trooper Tony Radulescu's body. This started at the Kitsap Mall. That's where the congregation began, of these cars and different police officers. They are on their way to Kent, to the Show Center in Kent. They're expected to arrive there about 11:15 this morning, about 15 minutes away. We will continue to follow this procession this morning as it continues. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm Peggy Bunker. It has been a long week for law enforcement in our state, as well as for friends and family of Trooper Tony Radulescu. A memorial in his honor is set to begin here in just about 2 hours in Kent. KOMO 4's Ray Lane joins us now from Kent, and it is a very sad day. Ray, tell us what's happening where you are as we remember Trooper Tony.
Yeah, we're here at the Show Center where there are plenty of heavy hearts, hundreds, thousands of people arriving here for the memorial, which is set to get underway at 1 o'clock this afternoon. As you mentioned, that procession started at 7:30 this morning, should be wrapping up here some 3.5 hours after it began. Right back here, we're expecting family members to arrive when the procession gets here to the Show Center. Again, in the next 15-20 minutes, we believe. You can see everyone beginning to take their positions to welcome the family, to pay their respects and condolences to what has just been an awful week. Again, that shooting happening 1 week ago. They're going to file in right back over this way, and this is the program we're just now getting here this morning of what people will be reading to follow what is going to be happening here. Now, just a little while ago, we were able to go inside and shoot a look at what has been laid out in terms of the memorial. You can see some different things, including what is called a table set for one, a State Patrol tradition when there is an officer who is killed in the line of duty. Also, some of Tony Radulescu's favorite things. He was a big car fan. There are plenty of cars up there on the stage. Also, a tribute to his military service with some boots that are up there. We had a chance to speak with Chief John Batiste, who is the head of Washington State Patrol, just a little while ago, about what a heavy day this is, his memories of Trooper Tony as he is known, and what this has meant for Washington State Patrol in terms of the outpouring of support.
You know, unfortunately, I've lost 4 people during my tenure as chief, 3 to the fire in Yakima, and now this situation. I've had several close calls with Scott Johnson over in Long Beach. Every chief who experiences something like this feels the weight on your shoulders. Why? Because it's like losing a brother, it's like losing a sister. In actuality, it's like losing one of your kids. It means everything to you, and it's a matter of...
And joining me now is Trooper Keith Leary from Washington State Patrol. And Trooper Leary, the chief spoke about this being a heavy day for the entire agency. What is your perspective on what you're seeing here today and everything the community has been saying about Trooper Tony?
You know, the community's just given an outpour of support to the State Patrol. You know, whether it be food, condolences, anything that they can offer, they've just been it's just been tremendous, the outpour. And law enforcement too. We have to be reminded that Trooper Tony was well connected in this community. He loved the people loved him. In fact, I just ate at a restaurant that he ate at the night before this incident happened last week, and the people that work there, the owners of that restaurant, had nothing but great things to say for not only Trooper Tony, but all the troopers that work there, or that work in that neck of the woods in Bremerton. And we don't realize till one of these things happens how important and how much people don't take our job for granted. They really support us, and you know, we're there for them when the crisis happens. It's what we do best.
We continue to watch the procession make its way here toward the Show Center. How important is this procession? What does it mean to see it happen and to see even people come out and line the route?
You know, to see it happen is we're here to support Trooper Tony and his family, and to give them that opportunity to say, this is how much we care, and this is how much your service meant to the state of Washington. We can't say enough of how, it's overwhelming. It really is how much support we're going to try to give that family. We're all grieving. And I'm kind of lost for words, because I put myself in what would have happened to if it was somebody, my close friend, if it happened to me, my family. We're all there to support the family and all the troopers that worked with him and the community as well. This affected a lot of people statewide and throughout the country. We have people here from all over, California, British Columbia. Just the outpouring of support is just unbelievable, and that's what helps us through that grieving process, because we're still out there even today, troopers working the roads and answering the calls for service.
All right, Trooper Leary, thank you very much. Certainly will be an emotional day out here. The service set to begin in the next 2 hours or so. And again, once again behind me, you can see they're getting into formation to welcome the family, which should be arriving here in the next 10 minutes or so. They'll pull off here on James Street here in Kent. The family will exit their vehicle and they will make their way into the arena and also then take their seats here and wait for the memorial to begin again at 1 o'clock. That coverage will be seen on Como 4. Peggy, back to you in the studio.
And Ray, it's really amazing as you talk to Trooper Leary there, and especially since you went inside and saw those items from Tony Radulescu. You see the service, the U.S. Army service, then the Washington State Patrol service. You can see why Trooper Leary is at a loss for words. He contributed so much.
That is very true. A lot of mementos about his life are inside. We're going to hear much more about the stories of his life from the people who knew him best. He had a lot of friends. We have heard over the past week or so what type of connection he had to the community there in Kitsap County, especially with kids. This has been a tough week for families to talk with their children about what happened, trying to make sense of something that really is senseless, why this shooting happened in the first place.
Very well put. All right, Como 4's Ray Lane this morning in Kent. Thank you so much. Well, hundreds of fellow troopers and officers, some from other states, some even from Canada, escorted the body of Radulescu and his family to the memorial service in Kent. They started across Puget Sound in Silverdale, where the trooper patrolled most of his career. Como 4's Luke Ducey has more.
Car after car, officer after fellow officer left the Kitsap Mall parking lot early this morning, bound for Trooper Tony Radulescu's memorial service dozens of miles away in Kent.
Just that people care, you know. I didn't think that they cared so much, really, you know.
While thousands of ordinary people lined the route, some waved flags, others held signs that simply said, "Thank you."
Let them know that we care what they do, that we're here for them.
I think it's pretty cool that they're doing this for the officer. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Along the way, the procession passed through the very neighborhoods where Radulescu patrolled most of his career. They also passed by the very spot where a Kitsap sheriff's deputy found him shot and bleeding on the side of Highway 16 near Port Orchard last Thursday.
It's tough. We all have a job to do. We all have to keep going. That's what Tony would have done. That's what Tony would want us to do.
Trooper Mike McMillan worked alongside Radulescu for years. He told me while nobody will forget the day he died, they also won't forget his smile and his laugh.
He cared about people. He did this job because he did care. Whether he wrote you a ticket or not, he did it because he cared about you. And once you met him, you were his friend for life.
And now they'll lay their friend and fellow trooper to rest.
I asked one woman who had lined the street to watch the procession, "Why did you come down here today?" She told me, "Why not? Trooper Radulescu did so much to protect my family and keep us safe. It's the least I could do for him." In Silverdale, Luke Ducey, Como 4 News.
All right, thank you, Luke. A little bit more about Tony Radulescu. He was born in 1967 in Romania. He graduated from high school in New Jersey and then went on to serve in the U.S. Army from 1986 to 1994. Radulescu fought in the first Gulf War and received numerous awards for his service. He was honorably discharged as a sergeant and remained in the Army Reserves until 2008. Radulescu began his career with the State Patrol in 1995 and was commissioned as a trooper the next year. He was stationed in Bremerton and Paulsbo, and then back to Bremerton in 2002 when he was appointed to a special program spotting and stopping aggressive driving. Radulescu received several awards for his outstanding service and achievement. Moving on to some other news in terms of the people who've been charged in connection with Radulescu's murder. Investigators say that Joshua Blake escaped police for hours after the shooting, thanks to the help of his friends. Detectives believe that 18-year-old Megan Mollett was in the pickup truck when Josh Blake shot and killed Trooper Tony. Police say the other suspects helped Blake to ditch his truck in a driveway with another car. Now, all have been charged now with rendering criminal assistance. You can watch today's memorial service on KOMO 4. Our coverage will continue and start with the service at 1 p.m. We'll also stream the service live on KOMOnews.com.